Thank you so much. That was amazing. That's actually very insightful. Okay, let me ask someone who else wants to share. I want one more person to go for it, maybe in 1 or 2 minutes. I want one more person to share with us. Mr. Olawale, would you mind sharing with us? If you are in an environment where you could unmute your mic, I would love it. I want one more person. Maybe in one or Can Mr. Olawale hear me? Let me know if you are in a place where you can unmute, because I know that sometimes our backgrounds can be noisy. Okay. Mr. Emmanuel Sanusi, do you want to share with us? Maybe in 1 minute before we go into the session. I can see more of us have joined. Good evening and welcome. Okay, one more person. I want one more person to share. Ooh, let me see. Okay, I'm not sure. I'm getting the feedback from Mr. Emmanuel at this point, or Mr. Olawale. All right, okay. So let's go. Let's jump right into our session. So I think I would be bringing him up now. Like I said, you can call him a teacher. You can call him. Oh, I see. All right. Thank you so much for letting me know. That's fine. Okay. So I said you can call him a teacher. You can call him an instructor. You can call him a mentor. I mean, he wears many hats, right? You can call him a pastor. Depending on whatever revelation you have about him. All right. So let me just get feedback from him to be sure that he is ready.
All
Okay.
right, good evening, everybody. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, we can.
All right, I'm trying to see how to put on my videos, but that may be difficult today. So sorry, I'm out of town, so I I don't have access to my teaching studio. So we just have to do this because it's not something that we should shift. So we just have to do this. So sorry if I'm not putting on my video. So we have been dealing with reinvention and
Device connected.
This is the third episode of reinvention that we have been dealing we have been talking about. And okay, just please give me a minute. Okay, just please give me a
Okay, I think he's going to, let's just give him a minute. I'm sure the slides will be shared as well, so we'll be able to follow the slides. Let's just give him a minute to set up. So you could just take this opportunity to also invite others. Anyone you know should be here. If you're a leader, you should invite your team members. If you are a business person, of course, you should invite your team members. If you are married, you should invite your spouse. Okay, so let's use this opportunity to invite others while he just sets up. Okay.
Please confirm if you can hear me before I continue.
Yes, we can.
Yes.
All right, thank you so much. So I said we've been dealing with reinvent for few weeks now. And it's something, if you go back and listen to the previous teachings, I'm sure it's going to bless you so much because it's a gradual teaching. And one thing about teaching is I don't want us to just cover up many things within a short time. I want us to sit with it and try to
digest what we are listening to. So it won't be of benefit to you if the reason why I'm here is just to come and show you that I know something about Reinvent, and I just bombard you with a 4-month curriculum in just one sitting, 1 hour sitting, and we put the end to it. No, it won't be it won't be okay for you. It won't be profitable for you. And so that is why we splitted it into 4 weeks, and this is the 3rd week. Also, okay, please, can you hear me? Someone said they can't hear me.
We can. You can log out and log in. But we can.
Oh, okay. You can help
I
me
can hear
type
you.
that because, all right, you can help me type that so that, so as I'm, so today we started something last week. I'm sorry, my slides is not currently on this laptop. I would have presented the slide, but next lectures, I will present the slide. And if you want to go back to the previous teachings also, you will see the slide there. So, but today, let me just talk to us. And let me start from this. See, if you are in a season where there is something you must do, but it's looking like you don't understand that which you must do, or there's a future that you are looking at, but it looks like you are not moving towards that future, that means you have to reinvent. And there's a statement that I actually want you to ponder on. I want you to ponder on this statement. It's a statement that has been made by different, different leadership experts. He said to do something you have never done before, you have to become someone you have never been before. So to do something that you have never done before, you have to become something that you have never been before. So it means that there is a process of becoming, there is a process of refining, there is a process of identity change that you must go through in order to do those things that you have never done before. Meaning that those things that you have envisioned in your mind, those things, those dreams, those goals, those vision, many of those things that you have envisioned in your mind. So before you get there, you have to be another person. And this is not changing your whole maybe personality, or it's not changing.
Incoming call. Incoming call. Incoming call. Incoming call.
So sorry about that. So this is not, I'm not talking about maybe changing your whole personality, but it's just like you changing your habits, you changing your mindset, and you establishing it on a different identity. So it's in 2 ways. For example, think that what I need to do is just to, just to change the way my habits, just to create more systems, just to change my attitude and all. So see, the reason why you are still not getting the result that you desire is because those habits that you are changing, those maybe attitude, behaviors that you are changing is still established on the identity that you've already created for yourself. So the first thing that you need to do is to change your identity. Last week we talked about discovery. We are currently undergoing the 3 Ds of Reinvent. The first is discovery, the second is design, and the third is develop. So last week we talked about how you can really assess yourself, where you are now. I kept on saying this, that never be emotional about life. And also, life is intentional. And if it has to deal with life, you have to live it intentionally. For example, if you want to become a doctor, if you want to become a lawyer, there is a curriculum that have to take you from point A to point B to point C. There's a curriculum that is designed for you that at the end of that curriculum, the outcome is that they can trust people's lives to you. But one thing about life is that because we think we can take charge of our lives ourselves, so we really don't have that curriculum that we are saying that, okay, for you to take us to this point A to point B, we don't have that curriculum to take us there. A lot of people want to become maybe, let's say, millionaire, billionaire or so. You don't have a curriculum to take you from where you are now to where you are going. And that's the reason why I said you must be intentional about life. Intentionality means that you are sitting down, assessing your life, you are writing things that you need to reflect on, and you are intentionally designing your pathway from where you are to where you are going. And this actually do not happen if only you. It does not happen if you do it in a way that, let me just say, you do it on your own. It doesn't happen like that. To every potential that is in anything, it needs another person or another thing to refine the potential. So any potential in anybody, and ultimately that's why we have the Holy Spirit. But the same way, the Holy Spirit has also established himself through the spirit of wisdom in people that is going to take us from where we are to where we are going. So that's why, in as much as we subject to the Holy Spirit, as the ultimate guidance, we need to also subject to people that will help you, that know the people that knows the kind of journey that you are going through, and I can tell you that, okay, if you move from year to year, you are going to get to a predictable destination. It's very predictable. See, there are some people that when I talk to them, and maybe within 10 minutes, 15 minutes, I know, even 5 minutes, I know that this person, if he or she continues with this mindset that I'm saying, you are not going to get anywhere. See, that's just the way how life works. It's the way that you go to school and maybe you want to study maybe law, and the first semester, first session, second session, the way you are not serious with it, they are going to expel you. So there is a level of seriousness and commitment, intentionality that is given to you studying that particular course, that is going to give the system itself confidence that you will come out great. And that is the reason why being intentional about life is very important. So an example is somebody who wants to build a successful business. If you want to build a successful business, you cannot continue thinking like an employee. You cannot continue thinking the way you are thinking. So it means that you need to change your thought process. To even though you are not seeing it yet, but your mindset must be there. I attended a leadership meeting today, and part of the table discussion that we are talking about is around ministry. So part of the table discussion that we talked about is a pastor that do not have the mindset to raise people who are influential people in the society. If they give that pastor a raw material that has the potential of raising people like that, see, he's going to raise them to the level of his own ceiling. And that level of his own ceiling might be that maybe the highest money the pastor have seen. I'm not castigating pastors. I'm just using this as an example. Maybe the highest money the pastor has seen is like, let's say 3 million or 5 million, and he's going to raise them to that level. So if your mindset, and for example, for you to have maybe 50 members does not mean that you can't have a mindset that you are already pastoring 5,000 people. So anything that wants to happen in your life has to shift first from the mindset. Then every other thing in your environment starts responding to it. So the reason for all this that we are doing is that we are telling you that there is a mindset that you need to have first within, so that everything in your environment will start shifting. And most of the time, people actually fight this kind of knowledge. I don't know. It's just I've just discovered that most people that need knowledge are the ones that fight it most. I discovered that most people that really are the ones that fight, they fight it most. So, for example, if you see a poor man, a poor man does not need money first. A poor man needs knowledge first. Because if a poor man do not have the right mindset, they give that poor man 10 million naira. If the mindset that he has can only control 20,000 naira, if they give the man even 20 million naira, so the man will bring down the 20 million naira to the 20,000 naira mindset. And if you have somebody that, even though as at now, the person has not yet controlled millions, but have the mindset of someone that is ready to...
Incoming call. Incoming call. Incoming call.
Excuse me about that. Have the mindset of someone that is ready to even control billions. You will see that it will take a time, it will take a while. It will only take a while for the person to grow up from where he is now or where she is now to where he or she is envisioning in his mind and where he or she has prepared to be already in his mind. So when we are talking about the 3 Ds of Reinvent, we talked about discovery. It's just that you need to do an honest assessment of you. Do an honest assessment of where you are now. And don't be emotional about it. There are some truths that you have to face. There are some truths that you have to face. If you are a leader and you don't know how to speak, you don't know how to communicate, you don't know how to take people on a journey of transformation, you have to be honest about it. Yeah. If you are somebody that you know that you are going to build organizations, you are going to build business, but you still don't know how to order things, you still don't know how to create structure and systems, you have to first be intentional about it to say that I don't know this. And in fact, see, one of the ways at discovery phase, because we've talked about discovery phase last week, and one of the ways I can say that you should go about your discovery phase is look at where you want to go. Look at where, just envision where you are going. Just envision maybe someone that has already been there and say to yourself that, okay, if this is where I'm going, what are the qualities and attributes that this person has that I'm currently lacking? And you need to be honest with yourself. In fact, if it is possible, I would say that you should even get feedback from people around you. Yeah. That you need to be just honest with yourself. What are the things that I need? And when you see those things, please, this might sound in a way, but we still get to it in the developing stage. Do not think that those qualities and attributes, you can get it on your own. See, the perfect way of knowledge, I've held this belief for a long time because I'm someone that if I engage a material, even without anybody teaching me, I tend to get much from it. But I discovered that I can actually get times 10 of it if someone is teaching me. See, you just need to find a way to sit under people. The system of succession, of inheritance for kingdom agenda has always been service. So when it comes to God giving someone inheritance, so the system of succession has always been service, because in service you learn. So there are many things that you are going to see about yourself. There are many hard truths that you are going to accept about yourself, when you start following people and you start hearing some things that they say. Let me give you this example. So there was a time I went to teach. I'll code it. I don't know if you can decode it. There was how I went to teach somewhere, and there's a suit that I wear. I'm not really a fan of suits, so I just wear anything I like. I wore a pattern suit and a pattern shirt. And at some point when it was at my mentor's place, so at some point when we're having more like a mentees meeting, a conference, and he just said it. I didn't even know whether so and he just said it in a way that, okay, some of you, you'll be wearing pattern shirt on pattern tie and be looking like masquerade. Oh Lord Jesus. Immediately he said that, I'm like, what? And I have to intentionally come to terms with the fact that dressing like that makes you look like masquerade. And I accept it with joy, because one thing about me is I just love feedback, because without feedback you can't grow. So, and I changed my dressing, because when you actually, I don't know how best to describe it. I'm trying to get you to a knowledge that all potentials need refinement. And we started with potentials. We said that you have a potential to become many things. You have a potential to become the president of this state. Yeah, you have a potential to become president of your state. You have a potential to become even the president of your country. But one thing about potential is that potential needs refining. And that refining only takes place when you submit to growth. Submission to growth now. It's not just reading book on your own. Systemic teaching, systemic curriculum that will take you from point A to point B. That's what I'm talking about. And that's what, by God's grace, that's what I'm trying to do with reinvention. To say that if you want to move from this point to this point, you need to, most of the time, I know that if I should start asking people now that, okay, have you read books some of your goals, New Year resolution is that I want to read 100 books in this year. And some of you, maybe you've not even done 20 chapters, 20 pages, I mean. But some people can boast, oh, I read books a lot, I've read this book. Now ask them that when you go to school and they know that there is a predictable outcome that they are building you for, they don't give you materials anyhow. They don't just say, go and read. In fact, some people don't have the required foundation and they are already building. So there are some books that is meant to be the foundation that they don't know that is what they need, and they started building. And that is what is not, that's what is not right when it comes to self-learning. I'm not saying self-learning is so good, but self-learning is best when you have a structured and a systemic learning. So please note that, because I said I'm going to emphasize this. I don't know who this is for. This is something that just sprang up in my spirit when I was preparing for this today's shift session, that I said I'm going to really emphasize it. So let's move down to the discovery phase. I mean, design phase. Now, now when we talk about the design phase, I mean, when we talk about the design phase, you know what design is. Now you've seen discovery. Now you've talked about discovery. You've talked about the reflection questions. What are the things that I feel I'm doing now? And last week, let me just take you through. Last week, we talked about the self-discovery. So what are the things that are true about you? See, it's not just you saying that this is who I am. Or nobody should say anything. This is who I am. No. This is who I am is not a statement that is taking you to a glorious future. the question you need to keep asking is, what must I become? That looks like a pointer to going to somewhere. So you need to discover this what is true about me. Some of you that you just flare up easily and you say, oh, this is who I am. Some people even use their tribal, where they came from. They use it as to flaunt, more like flaunting wealth. I came from this tribe that we don't grieve for anybody. Okay. See, that kind of mindset is not the kind of mindset that is needed for you to fulfill God's potential for your life. So, and what do I keep doing that I've never questioned? What am I avoiding looking at because it is uncomfortable? All these questions are questions that you must ask yourself. And we talked about contextual discovery, about your environment. And let me say before this, we actually talked about 3 foundations that we must lay. And the first foundation is your mindset. And I said that for you to even look at discovery phase, you need to change your mindset. And the mindset is related to your exposure and environment. So you have, what are the things that you are being exposed to every day? What you see and what you hear. What you see and what you hear shape your belief. Most times when we talk about these things, people will say it's motivational teaching or motivational speaking. No, it's not. The devil will find a way to create a nomenclature around things that are valuable to make it seem useless. So there is all this naming that we have in this generation, that something valuable, when a generation names it, they make it seem useless. So it doesn't carry the weight that it ought to carry. So when about mindset, when we talk about exposure, environment, we are not just talking about we are not just talking about maybe just motivating you. We are telling you that you need to expose yourself to places where there are quality conversations going on, because that is what is going to shift your mindset. We are in the shift session. That's what we're going to shift the mindset. Please,
this noise too much. Come and reduce.
the mic. Who's that? So that is what is going to shift your mind, your exposure. What are the things that you're exposed to? And let me say this. For example, some of us, the school that we went to already has defeated our mindset in a way, because you think that you choose a school by just what you want to hear. But choosing a school also should have an impact on what you have to see. Because the first phase of learning is your sight. So understand that. So we talked about contextual discovery. We talked about relational discovery, about seasonal discovery. Seasonal discovery is you identify what kind of season, what season am I currently. See, it's the season that you are that is going to determine the kind of books you read, to determine the kind of people you listen to. The season that you are is going to determine the kind of skills that you are going to get. So, but let's go to design. Now, design is what gives you direction. And there are also 4 layers of design. The first design is identity. So, identity is asking the question of who do I need to become? Like, who exactly do I need to become? Some of you are saying, no, I want to become a lawyer. Some of you are saying, no, I want to become a leader that is going to influence people. Some of you are saying that, oh, I want to become a policy maker that is going to cause national transformation. Yeah, that's you designing your identity. Even though where you are now is not really in tune or in line with what you are thinking on your head, but I can say that you having it settled in your mindset first is the first level of shift that is needed. So what do I need to become? when God showed Joseph through a dream the kind of person that he is, don't you know that Joseph actually carried that mentality anywhere he went? And when he was in the house of Potiphar, the scripture said that he excelled so much because God was with him, that even Potiphar had to put him all in over all his businesses, like household businesses, everything. And also, when you look at David, if you look at the account of David and Saul, you will see what they keep saying, that, oh, and David behaved himself wisely. And David behaved himself wisely. It's because David have a conscious identity of who he is. And that is when Samuel anointed him as king. That shepherd boy knew himself as king. That minstrel that went to the palace to play for the king knew himself as king. That boy that was asking that, who is this uncircumcised Philistine that is defying the army of the Lord? He knew himself as king. He knew what God has deposited in him. And he did not in any way go below it. You know, when everybody is scared of Goliath, well, though that's a story for another day. When everybody is scared of Goliath, someone who has created fear, like they were trembling. Even the king, when David was talking, when David was talking to the king, David said that, do not lose heart. So for you to mean that even the king has given up. And David is the one encouraging the king. See, you can't do that if you are just an ordinary person. Every other person in that battlefield only see themselves as a warrior that is lower than Goliath. But David has said to this in his mindset, that is just a matter of time. I am a king. It's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time. I'm a king. So design your identity. Who exactly are you? I know who I am. Where I am now, it might not look like the way I'm carrying myself, but I know who I am. It's just a matter of time. The experiences will align with the identity. Most times, do not let your experiences, do not let them to determine your identity. That is what is happening most times to people. People are allowing their experiences to determine their identity. Sometimes when I ask people, who are you? Some people say, oh, I'm a student of this university. Some people say, oh, I live in Ibadan. No, that's your experience. You live in Ibadan today. You might live somewhere else tomorrow. That's not your identity. Identity is not something that changes. Identity is a fixed something. This is who I am. And if you don't have that mindset, if you don't build your identity yourself, the society is going to build it for you. Yeah. See, the society is going to give you what it wants. The society is going to give you what it wants you to become.
Incoming call.
The society is going to give you an identity that the society itself needs you. I don't want to go into this, but I hope you know that there are social stratas in the society, the middle class, the upper class, and lower class. So if you are not careful and about your identity, the strata you are have a system to keep you in the strata. So they will give you an identity that in everything you do, you can never leave that ceiling. For example, you start seeing nomenclatures like Ozu and Bobu. Now we also till we make it. I hope you know that most of the people that rake a lot of money, they are not the people that are, in quotes now, doing factory work. So think about that. Why is it that the farther you are to ants work, the richer you are? Is a mindset. So the first thing you need to determine in your design is identity. You need to go and ask today that, who do I need to become? And if the answer that you are giving, and that is why I talked about mindset, exposure, environment. I hope you know that the answer you are going to give to that question will be determined or will be shaped by your exposure and your environment. Last week, I gave an example of someone that was born into a royal family, cannot see himself as a beggar. Someone who was born into, let's say, political family, as first already see himself. In fact, they have vision around becoming the governor of the states and all. Meanwhile, some of us that we don't have that privilege, we can still be dreaming about maybe where you are working, your highest dream is to become your highest dream is to become the general manager of the company and not to buy the company, because you think that buying the company is not for your kind. Yeah, that's the identity that you have given yourself, or the identity that society will give you. Let's say, for example, some people they want to study a particular course in school, and they gave them a particular course. And I'm not, thank God, I'm not saying any course, but those courses that at the beginning of the course, they will come and tell you that you can work anywhere. So that's the first thing that you're going to read. The prospect in this course, you can work anywhere, is a versatile course. The more versatile it is, the more confused you will be when you graduate from the course. So, and that is society actually naming you. That society giving you identity. Most of us think deeply. The things that I've admired in my mind, I'm going to become. Who put it there? Is this something that I've seen based on exposure? Is this something that I've seen based on what I think I must become, or based on the revelation that God has given? Even the revelation, when God gives us revelation, we sized down the revelation based on the capacity of exposure that we have. Yeah. We size it down based on the capacity of exposure that we have. So, design phase. Who must I become? Who must I become? What is the version of you that is required for your next season? That's the first identity. So I want you to write, this is a reflection. I want you to write a short description of your future you. Write a short description of your future you. And let me say this, when you are writing those descriptions, do not narrow it down to one person, because I kept saying that when you have the potential that God has embedded in you is not for one outcome, it's for several outcomes. So what is your future you in this area, in this area, in this expression, in this expression? If you are thinking, in fact, if you are thinking of owning maybe a company in the oil and gas industry, see, write it down and don't be scared about writing it down. In fact, if you are writing anything down and you're not scared of it, then it's not from God, because you really don't understand how big your God is. If you understand how big your God is, it's going to scare you. Sometimes when I look at God and try to take a deep dive, sometimes it always scares me. You know how big God is? Said, I think 1 million earths can only size up the sun. You know what that is? No, do you know how tiny you are when God is looking at the whole universe? In fact, and that's why that scripture said that who is man? Like, who is man? Who is man? Who is man that you are mindful of? If you know how tiny is you will be, if we are looking at you in the whole universe, then you know how big God is. So that big God cannot give you the vision that no. So write a short description about your future you. What is my future me? Yeah. And write a grounded, specific description of how that person thinks. Now, this one, you might not know it yet. And that is why teaching will start exposing those things. In fact, you might not know how they think yet, how they decide all those things. But just write a short description about you, the future you. The second design you must make is your vision design. What drives the conviction that you have for your vision is taken from your identity. Yeah. Do you know that if you have a vision, of, oh, I want to become maybe something, and your identity is not aligning with that vision, there is no how you can fulfill it. There is no how. It's like you are putting how best can I use for those of you that know what a crate of mineral is. So if you know what a crate of mineral is, soft drinks, they call it Pepsi, Coke, and all. You know this bottle Coke. I hope we know what I'm talking about, because I know that some of you might not be able to relate. But you know all this crate of Pepsi, Coca-Cola, this bottle mineral, no. It's like the crate is designed to fit in a size. The crate is designed to fit in a size of a bottle. And you trying to put another size of a bottle in that crate, it won't fit in. Yeah, it won't fit in. So if you are asking about vision, you'll be asking about, what am I actually building? What are you building? Even some of you that you want to travel out, if you travel out without having a vision or what you are building, sincerely, you are going to end up being a puppet where you are going. You know, people have shared testimony of how they went out and they succeeded, while some people are still doing care job and all. It's the exposure that they have. They believe that they can't amount to anything more than that. And so they don't have the vision to get to where they're going. It's, in fact, the vision many people make is just to live a comfortable life. And that comfortable life in itself even has degrees. Some people's comfortable life is just for them to be able to pay their bills and just to have a car to travel anywhere. If they are fine, they've achieved all what they are. And God is saying, this is not it. So vision design is you saying that if someone watched my life 5 years from now, what would they see that is different from today? I was speaking with one of my I would say the person is also my mentee, but he's also a friend. So I was telling him, and I said that, do an audit of your life 3 years back. Tell me, in this thing that you are building, tell me what has changed. And these are the honest things that we don't want to confront. I would say that do an honest assessment of your life within the past 2-3 years, and write it down boldly, what you know that has improved. Then now see whether what has improved with that time frame, whether the tally, maybe the value of that time, which is 3 years, tallies with the transformation that you have that you've had for those years. If you can do that, it means that you are not building anything meaningful. Because it's like you going on a journey. If you don't have a destination, when you get to anywhere, it's going to look like where you are going. That's vision building. The next thing I'm going to talk about is value design. Value design. And value is saying that what are the things that is going to guide you along the way? You see, some people, they are sure of their identity. Some people, they have vision, right? Very clear stated, articulated vision. But one thing they lack is the character that is needed to actually fulfill that vision. And that is where values comes in. What are the things that you hold with high esteem? That is value. For me, I value excellence. Oh, I so much value excellence. So I give my eyes to see things that are excellent because I believe that that is how I can expose myself to excellent things. That is how I can become mindset. I value excellence a lot. I value excellence. See, if I do a teaching for you that is even free, I will design my slide well designed, the words on it well articulated, just because that is who I am. And do you know that it is in this value, this excellence that I said I value, that some people have seen what I do and they're like, I love what you're doing. There are things that you have to list out yourself. What do you value? For me, I value accountability. That is why I love feedback. And I know that because of where I'm going to need it. If you are a leader and you don't value accountability, do not follow a leader that is not following. Please, do not follow a leader. If you are following someone, a mentor, a pastor, yeah, I'm a pastor, but if you are following a pastor and you can't clearly see the way he's following, please, it's very dangerous. Very, very dangerous. Because it is in true service that we see inheritance. You know, I kept saying this. It's in true service that we have inheritance. Yeah. It's very, very important. So what are your values? What are the things that you hold highly esteem? So you need to write like 3 to 5 personal values that they are short, they are memorable, and they are not aspirations. Things that you know that I can't compromise on. These are my non-negotiable. It will guide my leadership in my family. It will guide my leadership anywhere. And the last thing is what I call system design. System design. So you ask yourself, what are the structure that will make my future inevitable rather than aspiration? You know, what are the things that you set in place that every time you do it, every time you engage in it, it shows that you are going somewhere? You know, if we don't have systems for our lives, one thing about life, that life will always want to fill any vacuum that we live intentionally about our life. Any value that you know, any gap that is in your life, life will just fill it automatically. So, for example, if you are not intentional about life, life will just give you anything for you to be working on, and you'll be working on it. If you are not intentionally about values, you just see that society will start shaping your values, some things that you know. See, I am very big on values. I'm very big on values, sincerely. Systems, if you are not intentional about systems, life will just throw anything at you. Yeah. If you are not intentional about what you must do every day, maybe this is what I must do every day that shows that I'm going somewhere. Life will just come. Maybe you just, early in the morning, you just take your phone, you go to Facebook, and something on Facebook will just redirect your focus to another thing. From there, you go to movies. And like that, you wasted 5 years of your time. And, you know, you keep blaming the society, you keep blaming the government. Or if the government is good. And at this point, if you actually think that what it takes to change a society or to change a nation is just election, then you are wrong. You are very, very wrong. You are very, very wrong. So there is 5 tiers of leadership. There is the self-leadership, there is family leadership, there is team leadership, there is organizational leadership. That's where ministry leadership comes in. There is national leadership. That's where politics come in. See, that's where policies and politics come in. See, if you want to change a nation, you have to focus on these 5 levels of leadership. A lot of people are thinking that somebody will just come from nowhere, that is a savior, a messiah. I hope you know that even when Jesus Christ came, people were thinking that, oh, he will just come as a a grand person with strong muscle, and we just look at the Roman Empire and we just tear down the walls of Roman Empire. That's the picture that the Israelites actually have about the Messiah. Yeah. So if you are thinking that somebody will just come from anywhere, no. If you want to change the nation, change the family leadership, change how they think, the family leadership, what are the values that even the man in himself, who is the man? How does the man lead in his own? How does the woman lead in his own? If you want to change, you have to change how people think about leadership, in leading small teams, in leading organizations, in leading businesses, in leading ministry. Yeah, even ministry. You have to change how they think. And it is all those things that have a ripple effect on even national leadership. So what are the systems that you have created? What are the structures? What are the who can hold you accountable for the things that you are not doing? Yeah. Okay, some of you, many of you have I know so some people, when they hear this kind of a thing, they will say, oh no, it's not like that. It's just for me to go and learn more skills. So you keep learning more skills. And the funny thing is that, see, skills will not make you rich. Skills will not build wealth for you. I can say that. What builds wealth for you is solving a problem. So the solution that you created around the skills is what is going to make you rich. No, some people will just say that, oh, we don't need all this. Just go and learn one skill now. Like some people will say that just go into tech. That's the statement that is in vogue now. That I'm a tech guru. I just want to go into tech. I want to go and learn. I want to go and learn coding. Just go and learn software developer just to hit one grant. Go and ask people that they are doing those things. It is until when their mindset change, that's when they get to where they are. If you think there is only skills that get them there, no, you are wrong, actually. You are wrong. So, what are the structures? What are the environments, the relationships, the accountability that needs to change? That's system design. What are the rhythm that you have created for yourself that you know that your future requires? What are the amount of chapters of books or pages of books that you want to? What are the courses that you must learn, and you have applied for, and you are very intentional and very committed to system design? You need to note them down. What are the mindsets that I need at this point? The mindset I need at this point to change my thinking. I hope you know that everything rises and falls on thinking. That's why even God said that the thoughts I have towards you are thoughts of good. The thoughts I have towards you. So it all boils down to thinking. And when we start talking about the trap stage of this, next week we are going to finish it with develop stage. That's capacity building. And it is next week that we now start going to look at practical steps on what to do in order to gain competence for where you're going. So if you start looking at what are the traps that you may have in this phase, one of the traps is if you are not intentional first about identity, society is going to design all these things for you. Society can design things for you. For example, algorithm can design your day for you. Yeah. You can be speaking with a friend and the friend can just say something that design your day for you. You can just get a phone from somebody and just interrupt your day and design your day for you. So for me, there are some systems that I have. There are some times I reply messages. There are some times I don't reply messages. Nobody, only if it's a matter of life and death. Nobody can just message me anyhow and I'm obligated to answer. Nah, only if it is that important. So if you don't have these principles, if you don't have these systems that you set in place, it will be very difficult. So another thing is designing a future that is not actually yours. Some of you, there is something we call toxic admiration. Some of you have admired people to the point that you have designed your life after them. People can be a template. People can be people can be someone, a model. Yeah, people can be a model. They can be a template. You can follow the footstep of people, but you are unique. You are unique. That's the first thing you must know. If I'm a leader like me, then I'm a very bad leader, very, very bad leader. And if the leader might not know, but it's just that maybe you are just trying your best to admire him, and it now became so toxic that you want to talk the way he's talking, you want to behave the way he's behaving, you are even asking for his routine. The routine that he is having now is not what you should focus on, because he might be at maybe level 5, you are just at level 1. Your routine is different. So all those things are what you need to carve yourself. So don't design a future that is not yours. And something also is over designing. We can think and think and think of a thing that it becomes chronic procrastination. Yeah. Some people have that disease, chronic procrastination. So they keep refining and refining and refining to the point where they can't even get to this phase or this stage. So in these 4 designs, those are the things that your identity design, your vision design, your values and principle design, then your system design. So start designing this thing meticulously. Meticulously. If you don't have an idea of designing for systems and maybe values or principle, keep listening to people that you see as someone who is currently where you are aspiring to be. Or maybe stay in their mentorship or so. Just keep listening to them. You start seeing that you start getting to it's just a natural thing that are rubbing off on you based on what you are seeing. Start rubbing off on you and start thinking differently. Yeah, I've been in that stage. I've been in that phase. So, and thank God for where we are now. So I'm just going to say this to end it, because it's just one 1 hour teaching. So I'm going to say this to end this particular shift session, that you need to design your life intentionally. Please never leave it to chance. Never leave it to chance. I'm begging, please never chance. And stop blaming others for what you have to take responsibility for. You are the one that will blame the government. You are the one that will blame the government. You will blame the background you came out from. In fact, you can blame your spouse if you have one. You can blame even the person in a relationship with, but you won't think about yourself. Stop making excuses for you remaining where you are. Stop making excuses for you remaining where you are. There are 1,001 things that you can do to shift from this level. Stop making excuses. Stop making excuses. It's just a time where you have to think about your life and design it intentionally. And you might ask, where does faith comes in? We are Christians. Why we have faith for the future? See, faith works if you have a substance that you are looking towards to. So before God, when God started with Abraham, God started with, leave your kindred and I will show you where you will go. Then at some point, God started making it concrete. God said, look at the stars of the air. He said, as the stars of the as these stars are uncountable, that is how your children are going to be.
Incoming call. Incoming call. Incoming call. Incoming.
That is how your children are going to be. So God already gave him this picture that now my faith will be directed towards this picture. If you don't have anything that your faith is towards, because one, it will help you in your prayer, it will help you in the kind of even study that you will do, it will help you in the kind of people that you listen to, and that's intentional design. That's intentional design. Do not leave it for anybody. Do not leave it for the society. And I can tell you, the society is very the society itself, the system that runs the society, they are very, very intentional that they are going to fill that gap, fill that vacuum for you. That value design, they are going to design your value. So if you're in an environment where you see everybody just shouting here and there, it becomes your value. So they're going to design your system. If you are someone that you don't have carve out a system for yourself and it's everything goes, yeah, they're going to design. As far as social media, we're able to design it for you. So people around you will design it for you. If you don't design your vision, the picture of where you are going, your environment itself will give you a picture. Yeah, it will give you a picture. So the design phase is talking about be intentional about your life. Write it down. See those things. Go and look at them and write them down. These are my values. These are my vision. This is my vision. These are my values. These are the systems that I want to create and be very committed to it. Have accountability partner or a mentor that you're accountable to say that, oh, this is what I've done this week. This is what I've done this month. This is where we are. This is where I'm going. And all those things. It's going to help your life. Next week, we are going to be developing stage. And that is the last for this teaching series. Developing stage is now talking about, okay, what are the ways that you can gain competence? When you now know where you are going, how do I know the competence I'm to gain, to go to this phase? We'll talk about that next week. It's been a great time with you this night. And I hope we've been able to get one or two. If I've been able to get one or two, please just let me know in the comment section. I hope this has shifted you in a way. Just let me know in the comment section if this has shifted you in a way. I'm not seeing any comments. Are we still here? Okay. So thank you so much for coming. For those of you that are coming for the first time, we have our previous recording about shifts. I mean, the shift sessions, they are on YouTube. Just go to Cephas Alokan page on YouTube. That's my page on YouTube. Go there and you're going to see those recordings that we've done in the past. I mean, the shift sessions that we've done in the past. Just the one I can recommend is potential. Potential is going to be something. Well, what's the topic again? Waking up to your potential is going to be something that is going to help you so much. It's going to help you so much. So thank you so much for coming. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Thank you for staying to this time. Till we meet next week. Our further conversations will be on the channel. God bless you.